All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something a little unsettling. It's this tiny glitch in how you see the world, a built-in delay that means, believe it or not, you're never actually living in the present moment.
So let's just jump right in with a question. Right now, as you're listening to me talk, does this feel like it's happening in real time, like right this second?
Well, the answer, and this might blow your mind a little, is no. Not even close, actually. Your entire conscious experience is playing catch-up with what's really happening.
Think about it. By the time you think you've seen a flash of light or heard a noise, the event itself is already over. It's ancient history. We're talking about a delay of about 80 milliseconds. Now, I know, that sounds tiny, right? But trust me, that tiny gap changes everything about how you experience reality.
So this gets us to what I like to call the live stream lie. It's this massive illusion your brain is pulling on you every single second of every day, just to keep things from getting, well, weird.
What this really means is you're not a live spectator of reality. Nope. You're watching a pre-recorded broadcast. Your brain is basically like a video editor with a bit of a delay, showing you a polished version of events that have already happened.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, why? Why would our brains lie to us like that? It sounds like a pretty big design flaw, doesn't it? But here's the thing. There's actually a brilliant reason for this whole deception. It all comes down to something called neural buffering. See, your brain is like this incredible video editor. It's constantly grabbing all this messy, chaotic information from your eyes, your ears, your skin, and instead of just throwing it at you, it holds onto it for a split second. It waits, syncs it all up, and then presents it to you as one smooth, coherent experience. Without this buffering, our reality would be a jumbled, out-of-sync nightmare.
So, to really get how this works, let's talk about the race that's always happening between your senses.
I mean, just look at the speeds we're dealing with here. Light is basically instant. Sound, on the other hand, is crawling along in comparison. And touch? Well, touch is a whole other story. The speed of that signal depends entirely on how far it has to travel up your body to get to your brain.
And this whole problem is perfectly captured by something called the toe-nose paradox. So get this. If someone were to touch your nose and your toe at the exact same time, the signal from your nose gets to your brain way, way faster. But you feel both touches at the exact same moment. How on earth is that possible? It's because your brain pulls off this amazing magic trick. It gets that super fast signal from your nose, and it doesn't immediately tell you about it. Instead, it sticks it in this kind of neural waiting room, and it just holds it there, waiting, until that slowpoke signal from your toe finally shows up. Only then, once they're both there, does it release them to you as one single unified moment. It's incredible.
And it's the exact same deal with sight and sound. If you see a flash and hear a bang, and they happen within that 80 millisecond window, your brain just kind of goes, close enough. It doesn't bother showing you the tiny gap. It actually bends your perception of time to make them feel perfectly in sync, all to keep the movie of your life looking good.
Okay, so if we're all living 80 milliseconds in the past, that brings up a huge question, right? How do we function in the present? I mean, think about it. If we're always lagging behind, how do we ever catch a ball or drive a car? If you were only seeing where the ball was, you'd swing and miss every single time. If a driver was only reacting to what happened 80 milliseconds ago, we'd be in constant accidents. It just doesn't add up.
Well, the answer is prediction. To make up for its own slowness, your brain developed a literal superpower. It doesn't just react to the past, it's constantly predicting the future.
Yeah, this is the real game changer. Your brain doesn't show you where the ball is. It shows you where the ball will be. It takes all the past data, the speed, the direction, and it calculates, okay, in 80 milliseconds, that ball is going to be right here. And that's the reality it serves up to you.
Just let that sink in for a second. What you think of as now isn't really now. It's a simulation of the future, generated from data from the past. It's your brain's best guess of what the world will look like in the next moment.
And you know what? This is exactly how optical illusions work. They're basically hacks. They're designed specifically to fool your brain's prediction system. An illusion creates a situation where your brain's guess is wrong, and what you see is that glitch in the matrix, the moment the prediction fails.
So, let's just step back for a minute and think about what this all means, because the implications are kind of huge. What does this do to our whole idea of the present moment?
Basically, the present moment, that feeling of now that we all have, it doesn't really exist. It's a construction, a beautiful illusion created by your brain. It's like a ghost, pieced together from old information to make you feel like you're right here, right now.
When you really think about it, it's pretty humbling. We're not seeing reality as it is. We're experiencing our brain's edited for TV version of reality. Your consciousness isn't the driver. It's a passenger, just watching a replay of the journey that's already happened. We're all just time travelers, living a fraction of a second in the past.
And all of this leaves us with one last kind of spooky question to chew on. If your conscious mind, the you that you think of as you, is only watching the recording, then who or what is watching the live feed? I'll just leave you with that to think about, from your own little spot in the past.